with your main Chip Washington. When it comes to information, the main got an arsenal. Bring you up to speed with what you need. He's the local and nationwide news feed. Let's talk about it. Dialect to do something about it. Chip got the flow wide open if you got questions about it. Man, it's the show that brings you to your raw. To solve all problems, it starts with real talk. Real talk. It's 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 real talk. Yeah. Welcome to Real Talk with your host, Chip Washington. It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real talk.
And here we go. Here we go. It is the 22nd day of December 2025, which means Christmas Day is just a few short days away. That will be Thursday. But and by the way, this is the last Christmas show. It's the last show of the year for us here at Real Talk Memphis. And I'll tell you right now, Lola will be here next week, and she will not have not 1 but 2 hours of level Lola. She's so excited. She don't know what to do about all of this. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up tonight. Glad that you're with us. Hope that you're with us this evening. And by the way, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Chip's cousin, Santa Chip. He's running a little late tonight. I don't know if he's going to make it or not, but that's okay. I'm well prepared to host this radio show. So again, welcome in for the next hour or so as we round out this year. This has been a busy year, but it has been an extraordinarily fast year in terms of time. Time has absolutely flown by, and already next Thursday is the first day of a brand new year. Unbelievable. But in any event, we're going to give you the guest rundown in just a moment. But if you're trying to find this fine piece of radio broadcasting, well, you should know by now. But if you don't, you can find us on WYXR 91.7 on your FM dial live. We are also on the WYXR app live. We are also on TuneIn, the TuneIn app, live. And when the show posts in a couple of days, you will be able to find us on YouTube. And as this show, I'm told, is a podcast, you can get it once it is released, wherever it is you get your podcast. And if you have a favorite spot there, you should add us in, Real Talk with Chip. You should add us in on that, so you'll have an easy time finding us whenever you want to do that. So there you go. In terms of our guest list tonight, it is as follows. And each of these individuals is going to have a lot to say in reference to this year gone by and what we can expect in 2026. Natalie McKinney is the Memphis and Shelby County School Board Chair. And she will be joining me a little bit later on, and we're going to talk all about MSCS, what a challenging year it's been. Of course, she, as well as several of her colleagues, are up for re-election next year after being elected last year. We'll talk a little bit about that and a suit that they have filed against the Election Commission in reference to that early election. A little bit later, or actually first, we'll have County Commissioner Charlie Caswell. Charlie hasn't been on this show in a while. I haven't seen him in a while. He's been a very, very busy fella. And you think the school board's been busy? Well, the County Commission is pulling up in a close second. I can tell you that right now. And there's a lot happening with the County Commission. They have a lot of challenges that they have to face in 2026 as well. So we'll talk to Charlie about all of that in just a couple of minutes. And a bit later on, we haven't had him on the show for a while either. Columnist, commentator, bone be bone, all those things, and a man who is absolutely not afraid to give his opinion about the things that are happening in and around our community. He is Mr. Otis Sanford. He will join me in the second half hour of the show, so I'm absolutely looking forward to getting his highs and lows of 2025 and what he thinks is going to happen as we get into 2026. So there you go. That is a sneak peek at our guest list for this evening, and we hope that you can stick around and join us for all of the fun and the entertainment in all of this. A lot of you out here, as we end this year, have celebrated another birthday, aka your trip around the sun. Well, today is no exception to that rule. Many people celebrating birthdays today, and of course, we like to send you out on a high note by doing a little thing we like to call shout out. So without further ado, I'll say, hit it, Brand. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday going out to the following folks. Trey Alston celebrating his birthday today. Happy birthday to Kevin Fontana, to Julia Poole. Candace Posey is celebrating her birthday today, as is Takesha Smith, Deborah Early, William Gandy celebrating today. He used to be my barber back in the day. Robbie Mitchner Braxton, and Octavia Randolph Walker. And ladies and gentlemen, what a way to wrap up this year with Lola at the mic with yet another birthday, Lola.
Happy birthday, Mr. Roderick Giles, and happy heavenly birthday to my dear friend, Romika Cotton.
There you go. Happy birthday to all. I hope that this day has been filled with love. One more.
He does have a twin sister, so happy birthday, Sharika Cotton.
There you go. There you go. Happy birthday, Sharika. And from all of us here, of course, at Real Talk Memphis, we hope that it has been a day filled with love and laughter, and you have been celebrated in the manner of which you are accustomed. And we hope, of course, as now we're inches away from a brand new year, we hope to be with you next year for your next trip around the sun. Happy birthday, everybody. Thank you, Brand. So some news and notes. This is a big day for folks seeking to be elected to any office in 2026. It is the filing day. The election cycle has officially begun today, so a lot of folks who are interested in running for elected office, go down to the clerk's office, file your papers, and you're in. We've already seen more than enough individuals announce that they're going to run, but you got to file that paperwork today. And, of course, this is for the county offices. In 2026, all the county commissioners are up, the mayor is up, the sheriff is up, several clerk positions are up. There's a lot going on in 2026. Early voting, by the way, starts April 15th, and the primary is set for May 5th. So, yeah, a lot to dig into, a lot of people to get to know. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Do your homework. If you are planning to be a part of all of this in terms of the election and folks seeking new seats, do your homework. Just do your homework. I mean, make sure you know who is doing what and what their platforms are. We had a big announcement last week, and I'll talk a little bit about that in just a couple of minutes. But, don't just vote for names, man. Don't just vote for your neighbors. Vote for people who you honestly feel are going to be doing a decent job. I forgot governor. We're electing a new governor next year as well. So a lot happening. Absolutely a lot happening. Let me see here. Okay, that's one story. And the other one I was going to talk about was Dr. Marie Fagans, who threw her hat officially into the ring middle of last week, says she's running for Shelby County mayor. And a lot of you, for whatever reason, lost your minds. The excitement level kind of ratcheted up there for a minute when she declared that she's going to be in the race. She had a little announcement and the whole 9 yards, a little cutesy kind of a little event that she had. Didn't hear a lot about substance, but maybe that's coming. But a lot of folks on social media, and I don't know why I don't have Facebook Live tonight, but on my phone anyway. But if you heard the announcement, and I had people tell me seriously, Chip, she's going to win in a landslide, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, let's see. She hadn't been here that long. She hadn't lived here that long. She was the superintendent of education for a total of 9 months, and she's never been in elected office. So given all of that, I guess she's more than qualified for all of this. So we'll find out. We'll see. But anyway, moving on here. Heard some news today from the world of entertainment that was kind of shook me up a little bit. How many of you are familiar with Barry Manilow? A lot of folks love Barry Manilow, right? He was diagnosed with lung cancer. He came out and made that announcement today. He's canceled all of his upcoming performances and things like that. So we pray for the health of Barry Manilow, very popular musician out here in this world. How many of you heard about the story that I guess it occurred either late Saturday night or yesterday, where two brothers got into it, got a little beef going, because one of the brothers accused the other brother of eating his food. So what did he do? Took out a gun and shot his brother in the stomach over some food. Now the victim in all of this, the brother who was shot, is in critical condition. And there are some serious charges, aggravated assault and some other charges, discharging a firearm and against the suspect in all of this, which is his brother. I don't know how old he is, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we need to get along. And this fighting over food business, this is the holiday season, right? And there's going to be a lot of parties and a lot of family events and things happening in the next few days, next couple of weeks or so. Let's get all of that sorted out on the front end so we don't have to deal with another tragedy. And speaking of tragedy, we found out late this afternoon that yet another individual housed at the 201 Poplar Shelby County Jail died yesterday, as a matter of fact. 35-year-old black male was in custody. They found him unresponsive in his cell. They tried to work on him, and unfortunately he died. That is the fifth death at 201 in the last 2 months. Very, very sad and tragic situation. And of course, a lot of folks know about the trouble at the jail and the overpopulation and the dilapidated conditions there. And so that of course is one of the things that's high on the priority list to try to get started maybe next year. We don't know. But in any event, another sad episode out there as well. Let us take a break. And when we come back, let's get into the program and find out a little information. And I try to be nice. Well, I'm generally nice, but I'm going. This is my last show of this 2025 year, so we're going to try to go out with a bang, so to speak. So let's take a quick break. I'm Chip. You know who you are. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Huey's is proud to support WYXR's Raised by Sound Fest. Established in 1970 with 10 locations, Huey's menu includes burgers, sandwiches, and more. More information at hueyburger.com.
Support for WYXR comes from Grind City Amphitheater, announcing their first show, Alabama Shakes, with special guest Monrovia on Wednesday, April 22nd. Tickets and more information can be found at grindcityamp.com.
Almadel Jaguar is proud to support WYXR, a handcrafted tequila inspired by change and conservation. More information at almadeljaguar.com.
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Santa Chip with you, and very happy to have you with us. And my first guest, who has been on this show a few times in the past. Hadn't seen him in a while. We hadn't had him on in a while. It's been a very, very busy time. Please welcome to the show County Commissioner Charlie Caswell. And Charlie, it's great to see you, my friend, as we prepare to wind up another year. How are you?
Going well, sir. Going well. How you doing?
Doing good.
Yeah.
Doing good, man.
Yeah, happy holidays to you.
Happy holidays to you and yours as well. Charlie, to say that it has been a challenging year for you folks on the county commission is probably one of the bigger understatements that I'll make this year. It has really been challenging on every level, fiscal side, and then we're talking about the jail, and we're talking about funding the regional medical center, and a lot of other things that are going on here now, and also with the Safe Task Force. So in a nutshell, how would you describe, as someone who is in the trenches every day, this year, 2025?
Yeah, I would say challenging is a good word. Somewhat upsetting as well, especially on the body that we had a supermajority of Democrats to start this all 3 years ago. I would have felt that we could have been more in unity to make a lot more happen in our community than what we've been able to see. But through it all, I feel like this year could have been worse. But we made it get through, and I'm looking forward to a better next year.
Yeah, you know, I would hope that would be the imagined goal for a whole lot of folks. Now, next year is a huge election year with everybody running, and a lot of folks, and some folks switching and moving around here and moving around there, and the whole 9 yards. Do you feel that with some of the things that have happened this year, some of the disappointments and things like that, that the constituency, that the public, that the general public themselves, where are they on the radar in terms of even voting? Because you know as well as I do, and you've been on the streets a long time, the lack of consistency from us as a people at going to the voting booth. You know, we have a mayor's race next year. We have a governor's race next year, and so many races in between all of this. What do you think when you talk to your folks out there on the streets? Where are they mentally in terms of where we are, and do you think they have faith in our local government?
Well, I would say this, especially in the North, where I go to have weekly stakeholder meetings. I'm in the neighborhood every day. Here are some people in the North. A lot of our people, they are more educated. They know the people who are on the ground doing the work, the people who are going to represent them and be a voice for them. So you can't just come and tell them anything and they're going to run and they're going to go vote for you. So that's one thing I say, that people across the county need to become more educated voters, making sure they know about the individuals they're voting for. Don't vote for Charlie Caswell just because you know his name. Know what he done or is doing in your community. And I think that's where we failed off at. People just either name recognition or they just didn't vote because they didn't know the person. So this time, even though it's been ugly, it's been one that made you say, let me do more education of who I'm electing into office and why I'm putting them into office. So I hope that is what comes out of this, because we talked about this, I think, in the last year election when the city mayor, we had over 600,000 some registered voters,
right?
But you barely see 25% of the people turn out to vote. That's sad. And then you get all of these people making all this noise, but you don't even show up to vote.
You know, that is a very good point that you just made. And we say it every time there's an election, where people act as if they realize that there is an important component to all of this coming up. But then when the day gets here, all of a sudden we see numbers that are just pathetically low. Now, let me ask you about a couple of big ticket items in reference to the county commission. the Shelby County Jail, which is what everybody talks about, what everybody's hearing about, and we clearly know that we need a new jail. And I'm gonna specifically talk about a couple of instances in a minute. But in terms of that, is that going to be, do you think, one of the biggest challenges you all face as a commission in 2026?
No, I'm gonna be honest. So truthfully, even though that issue keep coming up, there will be no new jail built if we don't put no dollars in the budget. And so if we ain't talking about no real investment of increase in taxes, there would not be a jail built. And so everything else would be just talking points until we talk about where the money is going to come from. And we being bold enough to say that we're going to put money in the budget to do it.
Hey, that's a very, very good point. And having said that, we've heard from the state that the budget is off in the county, and there's some accounting issues going on there. And I'm sure that having this Memphis Safe Task Force here in town for God knows how long is adding to the financial headache of the county, would you say?
Yeah, it added some burden there. And we've seen that in our last couple of committee votes and commission votes that we had to put money in there for more food for individuals that they're locking up, because we got a lot more than estimated that was being locked up, more uniforms that was needed down there. Yet we do know some federal and state dollars have came through grants to provide for some of that capacity. So that's coming in, but we still, with the Safe Task Force, we're over time until we get reimbursed for that, are paying for that now.
Are you hearing anything in reference to that? I know Mayor Harris has been pretty outspoken in the fact that they're here in the first place, and then we got the National Guard here, and we found out over the weekend that the appellate court is going to hear the case, but not until March. So we have the National Guard here in our city, in our county, with nothing to do. And yet they have to be housed, they have to be fed, and a lot of other things that are adding to all of this. Is all of this, in terms of from your perspective as a lawmaker, is it doing any good? I mean, is there a plus from the Memphis Safe Task Force from your perspective?
So let me say this, and I said this from day one, that I believe that the National Guard being here is only for show. That piece, we know. They are only at the shopping centers. They're not making arrests. They're not on our streets and our neighborhood. Now, to the FBI, TBI, and others who are going in the community, arresting violent offenders, and some of the other arrests that are being made, then we know that is making an impact. I got to say, I talk to my constituents every week. They're not hearing the gunshots that they used to hear. They're not seeing the drag racing they used to see. They are feeling safe going to the store. This is what my seniors in my community are telling me every day. And talking to my colonel and seeing the numbers are down when it came to a lot of the violent crimes that we've seen in Fraser, Raleigh before this, it's making the impact, but not through the National Guard. Now, and again, to that level, those are federal dollars being spent on them. I don't know really locally dollars we spend exactly on the National Guard. Now, the impact of the other arrests that come through FBI and DEA and others, yes, that is making an impact on the budget, because we have to see after those residents who come into 201 because of those arrests. And so that is where we're seeing the impact there. But in whole, that's what we're doing.
Right. So another thing that I want to talk about, which was a big situation here, in reference to the decision that was made by the county commission to move the Memphis and Shelby County School Board election cycle to next year's county election cycle, which means that half of that body who were elected in 2024 have to be up for a re-election in 2025. What is your take on that whole situation?
As you know, one, I didn't vote against the no confidence. Right. I didn't vote against that for that vote to happen for the people. Why? Because just 2 years ago, over 20,000 people went out and voted for individuals to serve 4 years as they represented. I wouldn't have wanted nobody to take my constituent votes away because of a decision they made as the boss, whether we like it or not, because it's a lot of decisions Matter of fact, they should have been calling the recall because we didn't put no money in the budget. I'm the only one voted against this year's budget because I knew that we were going to be millions of dollars not having enough to fulfill the obligations that we made, but yet we approved that that budget was approved, putting us in a predicament where we had to take 43 million out of the reserve just to make sure that things were taken through the end of the year. Again, the state could have came in and said, well, we don't like the way the county commission voted on that. Y'all need to recall them and get them out of office in 2 years. And so we have to think about the consequences when we make decisions like that. I didn't support that decision. And another resolution that came the other day to say, let's do it to the municipality. I didn't support that decision. I don't support taking constituent votes or rights away. They're constitutional rights that they gave to say that because I don't like the way that they voted on the issue that we should take their vote.
Yeah, you know, a lot of folks felt like when that decision was made by the body, that this was sort of a pseudo recall election for what happened last year with the former superintendent of education. And now we see this, but there is something to be said about the fact that there is a constitution, and when someone runs for office for whatever period of time that office, before the term is up, that they should be allowed to fulfill their obligation to be able to fill it. And to cut folks after 2 years, and of course you realize, you probably knew it was coming, that the board has filed suit, or the individuals in question have filed a lawsuit to see if this could be stopped. Are you, now one of the other things in reference to the educational component in all of this is, last year there was a lot of conversation about, or earlier this year, there was a lot of conversation about the state trying to take over. There was a plan from the Senate side and the House side of all of this. Are you concerned when they regather sometime next month, because both the individuals that sponsored these two bills said that they're going to bring it up again in terms of a possible takeover? What's your take?
Yeah, so I'm not, I'm going to say this. I'm not concerned, but the state got the power through a supermajority Republican to do what they wanted. Right? They have done it when the municipalities took on their own school district and they separated from Shelby County schools. Right. They have the votes to do it. To that point, they have proven, though, through the Achievement School District that they already failed our children here in Shelby County by taking over those schools. They came in and spent over $1 billion, and those children were worse off than the children that's in Shelby County schools. So anybody that's in support of that are in support of our children continuing failing under the state. And so the thing for us to do is to figure out how collectively all of our bodies here locally do more. City of Memphis investing more, which they don't invest any, into the school district, like Cargillville into their schools, like Bartlett into their schools, right? Mm-hmm. They are putting more money into their districts, into their children for a better outcome. We got to do the same here locally if we want to see better outcomes for our kids. So I don't feel like the state would do us any better by taking over, but they got the power to do what they want to do if they want to do it.
One last thing I want to ask you, Charlie, because this has bothered me for quite some time. Now, you're a pastor, you're a teacher, you're one of the best human beings I've ever known. But we seem to be in some sort of a chasm when it comes to respecting others and being civil with others in terms of the way we address each other, the way we come at each other, the way we talk and communicate with each other. There was an issue with the county commission. One of your fellow commissioners who made some very difficult statements during a public meeting. And it got a lot of backlash here. But knowing the man that I know you to be, and I know that troubled you a great deal, what can we do, even with the pressure of being a legislator, to bring the temperature down and the heat down when we don't agree with each other, and not be so harsh in terms of how we communicate with one another?
Yeah, we just got to stop the foolishness. Hurt people, and that's one of the things for years. I've been doing work around an adverse childhood experience, and I understand it's not what's wrong with many of these individuals; it's what happened to them. And so they have to deal with their own trauma, because instead of bringing that trauma down on other people, the twilight zone of what we've been living in with the name calling comes all the way down from the White House all the way down to our house. we have to be respectful, period, of each other, because you reap what you sow. And so I'm just hoping that my colleagues understand that it's not acceptable. Again, in that meeting, though, it was a couple of speakers after that disrespectful remark to the chairwoman that I did speak up and offer my apologies to her as a woman to have to receive that, especially since I know my mother and my daughters and my wife watch that meeting every time we have those meetings.
Right.
And so I think that we got to be more respectful to our women across the board, and it was just out of order. And I'm praying that we can get back on track and deal with our own mess before we bring it on others.
Well, amen to that. Well, listen, Charlie, I really appreciate your time. I know you're at a function this evening, and you took a few minutes to join me tonight. Great to see you.
Thank you, sir.
I wish you and your family a wonderful holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy New
Merry
Year.
Christmas.
And we will reconvene and converse again in 2026. You can bet on that.
God bless you, man. Y'all have a great night.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas, everyone.
Thank you, Charlie. Appreciate that. Charlie Caswell, ladies and gentlemen, County Commissioner, giving us his take on some hot-button issues here in Memphis and Shelby County in particular. Let's take another break. And when we come back, what we heard from the commission side, let's hear from the school board side. This is Real Talk Memphis. We're just getting started. I hope you're with us and you stay with us. Don't go away.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back.
Church Health's Memphis plan provides coverage for individuals who live in Tennessee, work 20 hours a week, and make less than $31,300 a year who don't have current health insurance. You can call 901-272-PLAN to learn more about enrollment.
You're listening, but are you in the know? The WYXR weekly newsletter is the best source for keeping up with events at WYXR. Whether they are happening on our airwaves, behind the scenes, or out in the community. Log on to newsletter.wyxr.org to sign up for our mailing list and keep yourself
Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening. Chip with you, and very happy to have my next guest with us, a very busy woman. Of course, as we are leaving one year and heading into another, there are always challenges, and I'm really glad that she could take a few minutes to talk with us tonight. Please welcome Natalie McKinney, Memphis and Shelby County School Board Chair, to the show. And Natalie, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
And hear each other too, right? Exactly.
Yes, fine.
Yeah. So listen, thank you for taking the time to come on the show. Challenges abound, obviously, as we are leaving this year. I don't know if you heard any of the first conversation we had with County Commissioner Charlie Caswell, and we addressed the fact that the board moved you all, the ones who were elected last year, to next year's election calendar, which means you got elected in 24, you got to be reelected in 2026. You all have taken action. I don't know that anyone is surprised about filing a lawsuit in reference to this, but on its face, what do you say about all of this?
Well, Chip, with ongoing litigation, what I will say is it's a very well written complaint, and it speaks for itself. It lines out everything that we are alleged.
So Obviously, and like I said, I wasn't surprised. I don't think a lot of people were surprised in terms of this, especially from the perspective of when someone is elected to office, unless there's some crazy out of the way malfeasance, they ought to be allowed to complete that office, determine that office before other decisions are made. So we will obviously it's in legal hands now, and we will respect that. Now, as far as the board is concerned, there are some issues that we are looking at probably maybe next month or so when the legislature convenes. There are two members, one on the House side, one on the Senate side, who want to initiate plans to try to do some type of takeover. You're the board chair now, so what is your thought process in reference to how that might move along?
Again, I think last year we spoke very, very clearly and very loudly and in a unanimous way that we were under no uncertain terms. It's an echo coming back. That we're against that. And so as the board, we do not agree that a takeover is necessary. Both of those representatives have acknowledged that the ASD was a monumental failure, which was a state takeover.
Right.
So I don't know how you come back in the very next year and say you can do it better the second or third time around.
In terms of the overall challenge of education, we hear now that you guys are having conversations about schools, possible closures, possible consolidations, right. And I read somewhere, I think the plan might be to close 15 schools by 2028. Not really sure about that, but this is quite a process, isn't it? And I know you've been having public meetings, and I know that folks are pretty vocal about some of these proposals that are happening. Where do you see this going?
I think what people have been waiting for, and I think I've said it quite publicly, that we are going to have to think about how we deal with our schools. We have a declining population.
I think she froze up there for a second.
To dominate everything.
Okay.
I think what we need to think about, we don't need to closing schools, but let's think about modernizing our schools so that our students are in state-of-the-art buildings for state-of-the-art academics and programming. I think that's what we need to start to think about.
Yeah, you're. I don't know why you seem to be cutting in and out. So we're trying to, hopefully we can smooth a little bit of that out before you get off the air. That is one of those hot button issues. Let me ask a question in reference to, because I don't know how it works. We have an interim superintendent of education, Dr. Roderick Richmond. And what is the process or procedure as to you all as a board taking a vote to make his position permanent and removing the interim label? How's that work?
I think in our last meeting, December 2nd, I indicated that we need to have, as a board, have that discussion about the selection process. So our policy has two ways that we can select the superintendent, either by search or by appointment. So the board has to make a decision first, which methodology do we want to use? So that would be the thing that we would have to discuss.
Wow, well that's interesting, and so that you laid that out to making a decision going one way or the other on this. But do you feel that the decision does have to be made at some point in the near future, or no?
I do. We sure that, and the only way that we make sure we have stability is that we have a stable leader. So we have to make a decision one way or the other.
So what are you, as the board chair, you have goals, you have thoughts, you have an agenda in terms of moving forward. As we enter into the second half of this school year, what are, as board chair or as the board period, your priorities as we move forward towards the end of another school year?
I think as one in the priorities for the board is our board governance. we're doing that in January. We're hitting the ground running with our training with Council for Great City Schools, which will help us set our board goals with the superintendent as we think about how we then identify our strategic priorities. So I'm really trying to facilitate us getting to those places and spaces. But I will tell you this: we're focused on facilities, we're focused on the academic plan, and we are focused on early literacy. And as we move forward, I'm sure we'll add some other things there. But we need to do that work, and we'll start that work in January.
Well, you always have an ambitious agenda, no doubt about that. And added to it, of course, is the reelection aspect of things. But listen, thank you for coming on the show, Natalie. I really appreciate it. I want to wish you and your family a very happy holiday, Merry Christmas in a couple of days, Happy New Year, and I look forward to talking to you next year as we get past the first hurdle or two in January to see where things go. As you continue to march forward. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Now, take care. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Natalie McKinney, she's the Memphis and Shelby County School Board Chair, kind of laying out what the agenda looks like for next year, trying to wait and see what the state is going to do in terms of if they're going to try to take over this thing or not. If they tried to take over it before, as she said, with the Achievement School District, didn't go so well. So we will wait and see what happens with that. Let's take one final break, and when we come back, I am going to be speaking with a man who I highly respect because he doesn't pull any punches about what he sees, what he thinks is going to happen in our fair city. Mr. Otis Sanford joins me right after the break. This is Real Talk. We'll be right back.
If you like Real Talk, here's a way you can get involved. Do you have a show topic idea or suggestion? Want to be considered a guest or have a guest idea? Then send Chip a message on his Real Talk show page and you can be a part of the Real Talk experience. So as he always says, go out and tell somebody. We'll be right back. Get Real Talk on the TuneIn mobile app under WYXR, and he's now streaming live on Facebook. And you can also catch a rebroadcast on YouTube. Just put WYXR in the search box and hit subscribe. Now back to more Real Talk with Chip Washington.
And welcome back to Real Talk Memphis on this Monday evening in the city. Chip with you. And my next guest is someone who I highly respect in terms of his career. He is a columnist. He's a commentator. He's an author as well. But more importantly, we need checks and balances around here in terms of all of the doings in Memphis and Shelby County. And I'm so happy that I could get the Otis Sanford on the radio program tonight. And Otis, it's good to see you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, Chip. Hope you're doing well as well.
I am, my friend, and thank you again for taking some time to talk to me. Boy, we have a lot going on around here, I love reading your commentary, your editorials in the paper, and the truth. Now, I want to talk a little bit about a few things. Let me start off by asking you your thoughts, just in a nutshell, about the Memphis Safe Task Force. And now we find out that the National Guard, who has no duties whatsoever, is going to be here until at least March of next year. But what's your take?
Well, I've got a lot of different reaction to this. First of all, if there is provable evidence, really, that crime has continued to go down, because it was already going down. And if it's continuing to go down as a result of more cooperation with other federal agencies. I'm not going to complain a lot about that. Um, the public wants to see a reduction in crime. There has been a reduction in crime, although we still have shootings here all the time, Chip, and homicides. We had one just last night or yesterday or something like that.
Right.
But if it continues to go down, I'm fine with it. What I'm not fine with is the treatment that members of the Immigration and Custom Enforcement and the Border Patrol are committing against immigrants in this community, including law-abiding immigrants who are being rounded up, separated from families, and hauled away. And that is just a shame. Not enough media are exposing that. We have some that are doing it, but that's the concern I have with the task force.
Yeah, that in particular with the immigrant population, our brown brothers and sisters are really catching it here, and under the guise of quote unquote, the worst of the worst. And like you said, families are just being ripped apart. I mean, the women and children. And they're being stalked upon here in this community, and that still seems to happen. And you're right. There's a very much of a lack of respect in reference to this population because of what the leader of this country wants to see happening. We really don't know, Otis, how long all of this is going to last. We get sporadic numbers about the arrests. I think I saw over 4,600 arrests in this town, and a lot of other things. And you're right. But one thing we don't hear from around here is the police chief or the mayor. They have gotten real quiet. Does that concern you in any way?
Absolutely, it concerns me. We have not heard enough from the mayor. With all due respect to him, he has gone silent here. I mean, young people say he's gone ghost here in a lot of different respects. And he should be out there talking about this on a regular basis, trying, if he supports it, tell us he supports it. If he does not support at least some of the things, come out and say so. Don't be afraid. And I'm not accusing him of being afraid, but it certainly appears as if he is trying to not incur the wrath of the governor and certainly the president. But there are things going on in this community, Chip, that we have to talk back against. Just the other day, we had an Afghan family, all because of the shooting of the National Guards in Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
Now the Afghans are being mistreated, and they are here. They didn't sneak in, they came in. I just think it's just unbelievable what's going on, and we need to hear more from C.J. Davis and Mayor Paul Young.
Yeah, one of the things that has surprised me, and I'm pretty sure it surprised you as the emotion and the conversation that has been seen by our county mayor, or our outgoing county mayor. Lee Harris has really been outspoken, led this lawsuit in the whole 9 yards. And a lot of people will tell you this is the most we've heard from him in the 7.5 years he's been in office. And I'm still trying to figure out exactly where this is coming from and what comes next. You?
Well, I don't know what comes next with him. Of course, he's term limited for next year, and I don't know what other political office he would be angling for. And you're right, he had been kind of missing in action in a lot of respects, but he has stepped up on this, and to the detriment of his relationship. Not that he ever really had a good one with Governor Bill Lee, and he certainly doesn't have a good one with federal agencies right now because of all of this. But at least someone is trying to hold somebody accountable for what's going on in this community. Again, if crime is going down, I'm okay with that. But don't mistreat citizens who are not committing any crimes and are not the worst of the worst, as you say.
One of the things that has become a bit more troubling in terms of, I guess, us as a society in general, is the way we treat each other as people. I mean, there's a culture that is permeating through the country right now of hate and disrespect and a lot of other very negative aspects of all of this. Here, we have a lot of bickering going on. Now we have the county mayor and the Shelby County sheriff getting into it every other day about the conditions in the jail. They're both on their way out the door. What's your viewpoint on all of that?
Well, it's unfortunate that we have two people who should be talking to each other, but they are talking about each other and are talking across each other. They need to be working together here. There are some serious issues at the jail. We just had another fatality at the jail just in the last day or two.
Right.
And so we have a problem there. And it's unfortunate that they can't talk to each other and try to work out their differences. This should not be a political issue. Oh. This is a public safety issue, and it's a shame. But you're right. I mean, we are not. We're being mean to each other. You know, that might be a reason, Chip, that the Grinch is so popular this Christmas season, because the Grinch is a bad person.
Yeah.
And we are popularizing the Grinch instead of popularizing good things. Yeah. I don't know what's going on here.
Want to touch quickly on a big election year in 2026. I think you're going to be pretty busy. We have going to probably have a lot of new faces and new places next year. We have a governor's race. We have a mayor's race in the county side. We have a sheriff's race in the whole 9 yards. Do you hope that people will learn some lessons from the past in terms of being more engaged in the process of going to the polls? What do you think about that?
Absolutely. I certainly hope so. I mean, I've got a column up today on the Daily Memphian where I do give the former superintendent some credit for saying we need to have a higher turnout. I agree with that because the turnout for the primaries have been around 10, 11, 12% over the last 3 election cycles where the county mayor was on the ballot. And even in the general election, it didn't get above 27%. That is atrocious when you have more than 560, 70, 80,000 people registered to vote, and you have 11% turnout in the primary, 25% turnout in the general. It needs to be higher. But yes, these are going to be some very interesting races. The race for county mayor locally, I think, is going to be the biggest. But then you have the clerks, and of course you have the governor. You mentioned that. There's a congressional race among the Democrats in the August election that people are going to be watching. So there's a lot to cover next year.
You think that Justin Pearson has a realistic shot at dethroning Steve Cohen after all these years?
I think he has a shot. Now, when you say realistic, I'm not going to add a word to it. I'm just going to say he has a shot just because, he has garnered some name recognition. But we have to run a campaign here now. And again, this election is not until August, so we got plenty of time to let them run a campaign, let people evaluate as to whether Congressman Cohen deserves another 2 years there. He needs to he needs to campaign, and he needs to make the case. But Justin has to do the same thing. So it'll be an interesting race. I think it'll heat up sometime after the primary, and we'll start paying attention to it.
One of the last thing I'm gonna ask you about real quickly is platforms. Like you just said, we have to run a race. I mean, all the splash and dash and I'm running and all this kind of good stuff and everything is as we just witnessed here a few days ago by the former superintendent. But once we get past that, people really should hold these folks accountable in what are you going to do to make life better for citizens here in Shelby County. Am I correct in that?
You are absolutely correct about that. And I'm on record as saying, Chip, that just because there was a lot of flash and dash and pomp and circumstances and high step and hoopla the other day with the former superintendent announcing her candidacy, I'm not putting her at the top of the list here. We have other candidates who have been around here long enough, whether you like them or not, whether you think they deserve to be elected or not, but at least they've been here. I'm just not all in favor of putting somebody in charge of the whole county government who's only been here less than 2 years. I got a little bit of a problem with that. But let's run a race and let's see what all of them have to offer. And I'm talking about the other candidates as well. I mean, we have some people who have been around, been in government, have experience, have a record, and let's evaluate that record and see who's the best, especially on the Democratic side in the May primary.
The great Otis Sanford, ladies and gentlemen. Otis, thank you so much, man, for taking some time. I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous 2026. I'm sure if you let me, I'll be reaching out to you again sometime next year.
Oh, you know I will. I'll be out. As a matter of fact, I have a big announcement coming in the first part of the year, and I want to come back on the show and talk about a next book project that I have in the works. So we'll talk about that.
So, absolutely that. Otis, thank you so much, my friend. You be safe out there. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Chip. Merry Christmas to you.
And to you. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That was a good show. That was a beefy show there tonight. And look, we're on our way out of here. As I said earlier, this is the last show for me for 2025. I want to thank all of you who have contributed by watching the show and listening to the show and dropping off a little positive messages every now and again. Really, really appreciate that. As Brent plays us out. And by the way, Brent Butler, don't go anywhere. Fresh Event Horizon is coming up next right here on this fine radio station. But listen, I just want to wish each and every one of you a very, very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday season, a wonderful new year filled with blessings that are too big for you to wrap your arms around. I love this city. I love our folks out here. And let's do more to stay together than separate us. So for all of us here at Real Talk Memphis, and I'm waiting for the person on my right to make her appearance behind me. For lovely Lola, ladies and gentlemen.